This cute little guy is the African Pygmy Dormouse, also known as the micro squirrel. They are native to a ton of different areas in sub-Saharan Africa, all the way from Somalia down to Rwanda to Tanzania down to South Africa and many places in between. Now, despite the name micro squirrel, they are not actually related to squirrels at all, but are in the dormouse family, which again is not related to actual mice. They're just kind of their own type of rodent. These guys tend to be either nocturnal, being seen mostly during the night, or crepuscular, being most active at dawn and dusk, and are usually not seen that often during the day. They have quite large and dark eyes to help them see better in low light or entirely dark conditions. And they're highly omnivorous, eating pretty much anything they can get, from fruits to nuts to seeds to insects, all of that. They're typically arboreal, building nests up tall in trees or in the middle of shrubs or bushes, but can be found in more bare rock areas, making their nests in crevices of rocks instead. They're quite the social little guys, typically living in colonies of at least 3 or 4 individuals, up to as many as around a dozen. They're also incredibly fast and agile. Now, they are starting to become rather popular in the pet trade, similar to something like a chinchilla or a sugar glider. However, they are by no means domesticated and are, I think, even harder to keep than something like a sugar glider or a chinchilla. Like I said before, they are colonial, so that means you need at least 2 of them, and they require quite a large enclosure to be able to run and jump and kind of play around everywhere that in the space they need. Additionally, they need a varied diet with things like fruit and insects and all of that, and can't really be fed with like a rodent mix that other things can be fed with. And since they are very fast, very agile, there is quite a high risk of them escaping their enclosure also. They're definitely not recommended for things like children or first-time pet keepers, and my sister and I actually used to have a chinchilla when we were younger, and based on our experience with that, I definitely would not recommend getting one of these with your kids, because they're supposed to be even harder to keep than a chinchilla, and he was adorable, but he was not an easy pet. So unless you have a lot of experience and a lot of time to kind of just devote, I forgot the word, it took me a minute to remember. Unless you have a lot of time to devote to taking care of these very high maintenance critters, I would not recommend that you get one.